Hey, welcome to the Daily Mastermind, folks. I am Paul Baxter, implementation coach for the Mortgage Mastermind Group, and I am definitely here to help you grow. So the month of December, we have been focused on presentations. We've covered, soup to nuts on presentations. We're taking the whole month to focus on that because it's one of those strategies that, quite frankly, if you can begin and start to do things with presentations and get in front of groups of people, it's going to lead, first of all, it brands you as an expert, and it gives people an idea that you are different than the rest of the loan officers in the crowd, whether it be to consumers directly or whether it be to referral partners. It helps differentiate you. We've covered, the different types of presentations. We set up a follow-up plan for people who attend. We've talked about, I've given you a done-for-you presentation. We've talked about how to set them up. Yesterday we covered how to promote the presentations, whether it be promoting it on your own or promoting it with a co-sponsor or a partner. So we've covered those things. Today what we're going to specifically focus on is the plan for following up with the people who RSVP. You've got to keep your registrants interested. How do you keep them excited about coming? And that's what we're going to discuss today. You have a follow-up plan in place for attendees. It's the first thing, by the way, and I want to stress this fact. That's why I put it on this PowerPoint, and it's reminding me now that I'm seeing it. The follow-up plan for your attendees is the very first step, the very first thing you should implement when setting up your presentation strategy. If you're going to implement the presentation strategy, don't even worry about what you're presenting. Don't worry about a date or a time or a partner or how to promote it. Don't even think of those things until after you have your follow-up plan in place. That is hands down the very first thing that you want to do is have a planned, purposeful strategy to implement to follow up with the attendees of your event. That's my soapbox moment for today. You have a presentation. I've given you done-for-you presentations to present to brand you as an expert. You have a way to promote the event and get the butts in the seat. So how do you ensure your registrants will show up? By having an RSVP follow-up plan. The reality of the whole situation is your targets register because they have good intentions of learning about the subject. Their intentions are good. Yeah, I want to learn that. So they register. They sign up for it. But let's face it, a lot of the agents' good intentions may not have good implementation skills for those intentions. And so your RSVP plan will help you turn those good intentions into good actions as well. And I found this little graphic that absolutely speaks the truth about what I'm talking about here. It's time to follow through and turn your good intentions into good actions. The reality of the situation is, you guys know this as well as I do, 90% of the sales in real estate happen with only 10% of the real estate agents. But the other agents, the other 90% of agents, they have this thing called good intentions. But for whatever reason, they don't have the mindset to follow through on those intentions. And so you've got to kind of push them down the path a little bit when they RSVP for one of your events. I've heard it so many times, oh, well, I get people to register, but no one shows up. That's because you don't have a good RSVP follow-up plan that encourages them to show up. And that's going to change today. We're going to give you an exact RSVP follow-up plan that if you implement this, you will get those people to show up. No, not 100%, but you will absolutely get those good intentions turned into good actions if you follow through and deploy this strategy. So just like your follow-up formula, you're going to incorporate the three-step follow-up: email, greeting card, phone call. That's our follow-up formula. We've discussed this at length. If you missed that class, the class is actually called Follow-Up Formula, and I highly recommend that you check that out if you need some background information on what we're talking about with the three-step follow-up: email, greeting card, phone call. There is only a slight difference in what we say with this three-step follow-up because, again, our purpose of this is not to get to the face-to-face. Like our regular three-step follow-up formula, the purpose of that is, or the goal of that is to get us a face-to-face opportunity. The goal of what we're doing here with our RSVP follow-up plan is to get them to take good action and actually attend our event. So there's only a few slight differences. On the email, you're going to send them 3 emails in the RSVP follow-up formula, and those 3 emails are confirmation email, reminder email, and then confirmation email again. You're going to send your first confirmation email as soon after registering as possible. It's important. You want to catch them in their ether. Again, the good intentions with a lot of agents, unfortunately, is short-lived, and so you've got to take that opportunity to be right on top of it when those good intentions are still in their heart. And so your confirmation email, that first confirmation email, it needs to include these components. It needs to include a thank you of some sort. You need to reinforce their good intentions in that email. You need to obviously give them the event details, and you want to give them in that first confirmation email specific instructions on what they need to do to make sure that they attend to the event and they get the most out of what you're doing. And it's just some very basic, simple instructions. And you'll see as we go through this, here's what that first confirmation email should look like. Hello, Freddie. Thank you for registering for the How to Use Facebook to Farm Your Neighborhood. Your seat is saved. So I've just confirmed with them. I've thanked them and I've confirmed with them that their seat is saved. Now I'm going to begin the process of reinforcing those good intentions. Congratulations on taking action on your business. Only the most successful take steps to work on their business instead of in it. So what I've done there is I've reinforced those good intentions. I've reminded them that they've taken an action step that not everybody takes, and I want them to feel good about that action step, but I'm reminding them that what they're doing is they're taking a step to work on their business instead of working in their business. So what I've done is I've reinforced those good intentions, encouraged them to not just have good intentions but to have good actions. Now I go into the details. Make sure to put January 6th at 12 p.m. on your calendar. That's a specific instruction with the details. So I'm kind of combining those two things to make sure that I'm telling them exactly what they need to do, specific instructions, but it includes the details. And I'm reminding them, you don't want to miss this opportunity to create a social media strategy that works. Again, I'm encouraging them. I'm reminding them about what it is that they were interested in the beginning. The training class will be held, that is supposed to be the training class will be held at Positano's Italian Restaurant, 1122 Tampa Road, Palm Harbor, 34684. If you have any questions before class, please feel free to call me at. I didn't say or email me, because if I say or email me, this is very specific, and I want to make sure you guys get this point. If I include, if you have any questions before class, please feel free to call me at blah, 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 or email me back at, and I include my email. Well, here's the thing. When somebody is feeling bad or they're going to do something that goes against those good intentions, they don't feel good about it. It's not a good feeling that they get when they're going to not show up for an event that they had good intentions of being at, something like this. An email, if they email me back, it makes it much easier to hide behind that computer. They don't have to, that level of embarrassment becomes less because they're able to hide behind the computer screen. It's not as if we're having a conversation and they're saying, oh, unfortunately, or making an excuse why they're not working on their business instead of in their business. Okay, so by saying not offering the email response situation, I'm taking away a little bit of their ability to hide behind that email. I've given them my phone number, and if they have questions, they can call. And never once do I say, or if you can't make it, please let me know. Never once. I don't want to embed that thought into their mind, and I don't want to give them or implant an easy way for them to do that. So I simply say, if you have any questions before the class, please feel free to call me at 747-221-6649. I look forward to helping you grow. And then always include that PS. Remember, the PS in an email is read more than the rest of the email. Everybody reads the PS. It's just one of those things. If you think this class would benefit any of your colleagues, please feel free to share the class info or have them call me. So now I'm also putting it out there that feel free to invite some of your colleagues. Bring a friend kind of thing. And that's a very simple email, and I've covered all the bases on it. I've thanked them. I've reinforced those good intentions. I've given details as well as specific instructions on what they should do to make sure they can attend the event. And that's all there is to it on that very first confirmation email. Now, the second email is a reminder email, and you want to send that out about a week before the presentation date, about a week before. And that reminder email is a very simple thing. You're just, the purpose behind the reminder email is twofold. First and foremost, it's another reason to put your name in their inbox. But the second reason is you want to reiterate those good intentions. You don't want those good intentions to have enough time to get out of their mind. Now, a week before is typically, you can remind them of the good intentions that they had. Again, you got to reinforce those good intentions. It's a reminder of the event details as well, and that's a good opportunity to remind them that it's Tuesday the 6th at 12 o'clock noon and exactly where it is again. And you also want to take the time in your reminder to thank them again for registering. And so that reminder email looks a little something like this. Hey, hello, Freddie. Just a quick reminder about the how to use Facebook to farm your neighborhood class. I'm reiterating what they signed up for. If you have not already, make sure to put Tuesday, January 6th at 12 p.m. on your calendar. So I've given them a specific instruction, but at the same time I've reiterated the details of the event. In case you missed it, the class will be at. And I say in case you missed it, I know darn well they didn't look at the address in the first time or write it down in any way, shape, or form. And so I give them that little bit of an out, but it puts me in a position to remind them of the address. So reiterating those facts. In case you missed it, the class will be held at Positano's Italian Restaurant, 1122 Tampa Road, Palm Harbor, 34684. Thank you again for the opportunity to help you grow your business. That's what that class is about. I'm not thanking them for registering. I'm thanking them for the opportunity to help them grow their business. You have made a commitment to invest your time in learning strategies that will help you get more buyers and sellers. Again, that's the reinforcement of those good intentions. Now I'm going to back it up by telling them that it's a good idea for them to be at that class because of those good intentions. My commitment to you is to help you with that in any way that I can. So I've told them, great job in investing in yourself. You've made a commitment to invest in yourself in learning strategies to help you get more buyers and sellers. My commitment to you is to help you with that in any way that I can. So now I'm kind of putting it in there that I'm looking to help. That's what this class is about, is to help them get more buyers and sellers. I look forward to helping you grow again. And then, of course, my contact information, and then the same thing. If you think this class, P.S., if you think this class would benefit any of your colleagues, please feel free to share the class information or have them call me. Now, that P.S. is good if you don't have a full class already. As you start to do this, you get 2-3 months into it, and you're starting to get the impact, and people are recognizing that you're doing these things, you're going to get a full class. On that reminder email, you may not include that. You can come up with a different PS on that. PS, if you'd like some more one-on-one help, please feel free to get in touch with me. I'm here to help you grow, that kind of thing. Just a different PS. Or skip the PS altogether if you don't have something or if you can't come up with something. But again, if your class is full already, don't include a PS to contact their colleagues, because what will happen is that'll put egg on your partner's face or the people's face who are doing that. If they do decide to pass this on to their colleagues and your class is full and they call you up and you say, oh, I'm sorry, the class is completely full this time, I can put you on the waiting list or get you set up for the next class I'll be doing on February 8th, that's cool, that helps you, but that puts a little bit of egg on the face of the person that shared this, Oh man, I'm not even able to get in. Thanks for sharing that with me. Now I can't. Now I don't even know what I'm going to miss. I can't get into the class. He's full. So you don't want to put yourself in that position to have to apologize to a brand new agent who is registered or one of your RSVPs. So if you're in that situation by the time you get to your reminder, which again is 1 week prior to the actual event, if you're already full, don't include the PS about sharing it with their colleagues. If you're not full, by all means, it's a great opportunity for you to increase the class, okay? And the likelihood is about a week before your class, you're not going to be full. Typically, you'll get an influx of people registering a couple of days before the class, that last minute sort of thing. So just kind of keep that in mind. The second confirmation should be sent the day before the presentation, not earlier. The day before the presentation is your second confirmation. And again, this is a way for you to reiterate their good intentions. It's a way to really make sure that they've got the details of the event, because the likelihood is they haven't paid much attention to it, and they're going to pay attention to it because it's tomorrow, okay? And so you've got to this is the most important time to reiterate those good intentions. And so that email looks like this. Hello, Freddie. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at 12 o'clock at Positano's Italian Restaurant. In case you need it, the address is 1122 Tampa Road, Palm Harbor 34684. So I've given those details right up front. I'm reminding them I'm seeing them tomorrow. Tomorrow is the class. I'm reminding them of that. I'm refreshing or making sure that they've got the details, the time, the place, all that stuff. Please feel free to call me if you need directions. So I'm happy to help with directions, and I'm reaching out there to make sure that they have every way possible to get there. Now I'm going back into that reinforcement, and this is the time when I'm going to try and reinforce it stronger than I have before. And I'm going to put, that's why I've got this statement out here. Statistics show that 90% of homes are sold by 10% of the real estate agents. I'm kind of giving them their own facts, and whether they're in that 10% or not, I'm painting a picture that's kind of making them say, yeah, they really. I believe that is because most spend time working in their business instead of on it. I am glad to know you are one who is taking steps. I'm not saying that they're one of those top 10%. I'm saying I'm glad to know you are one who is taking steps to work on your business. They're taking steps to do so. So I've reiterated those good intentions, but at the same time, notice the kind of underhanded way that by saying I'm glad to know you are one, I'm assuming that they're one that wants to work on their business. And if they're not, they're going to feel and remember, it's all about feelings that we create with people. I've said that time and time again. Sales are made by how we make people feel, not based on what we say. And so I'm trying to create a feeling within the people who are reading this that if they don't show up, they're not one of those people. They're not who I think they are. Because I'm glad to know you are one who is taking steps to work on your business. And if they don't, you're not one of those. You're not who I thought you were. And that creates that feeling. It's almost like a little bit of a guilty feeling if they don't do these things to work on their business. If they don't show up to this class, they're being counterproductive in their business. And then you just end it right there. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and helping you grow. And then my PS is also something different. If you have any dietary restrictions, please let me know, and I will inform the restaurant of your needs. Remember, I'm doing mine at Positano's, and that would change if you're doing it at your local title rep's office, or if it's being catered, the same thing can be said. Just, hey, if you have any dietary restrictions, please let me know so we can make sure that we can accommodate your needs. That's all there is to it. And I didn't say anything about if you can't make it, let me know. I didn't say any of those things. Okay? I didn't say any of the things about if you can't make it, let me know, because I don't want to implant that thought in their mind. I'm not giving them any sort of out. They have to pick up the phone and call me if they want out. Okay? Very important. Now, the greeting card is a very different thing as it relates to presentations or RSVP presentations. The greeting card is more like a save the date kind of thing that you're doing, but what you're doing is you're getting into their mailbox. You're going to send this out as soon after they register as you possibly can. You're still going to send this as a greeting card, and the reason for that is it's going to make sure it gets open. Now, a postcard will work very, very similarly because they'll see the information on top. Okay, just big printed RSVP. You are not sending this in hopes that they will hang it on their fridge or tack it to a board, but simply to touch the registrant in a way that differentiates you. The reality of the situation is they expect to get emails from you. They're expecting the email. They're not expecting a card on this kind of thing because no one else is doing it. They expect to get email. Everybody's doing email. Remember, 147 emails every single day for the average adult in the U.S. That's a lot of freaking emails. They don't get that many pieces of mail in their mailbox, and they're expecting to get the email confirming. They're expecting to get that on an email. They're not expecting to get it in the mail. And so that differentiates you right up front. It shows that you're different. It's not so much that they're going to save that date or pin it up somewhere. It's more about differentiating yourself with those people. And the greeting card is very short, very sweet. I highly recommend that you write this out, have it pre-written, ready to go before you have these ready to roll before you say. And they don't need to be personalized. Just, hello, thank you and congratulations. Your seat is saved for the How to Use Facebook to Farm Your Neighborhood class. Class details. So again, I'm thanking them and congratulating them. Then I give them the class details. And then here's the part where I reiterate or reinforce their good intentions just in the closing. It doesn't have to be something long and elaborate. I look forward to helping you work on your business instead of in it. Reinforcing those good intentions. They signed up and they're working on their business instead of in it. And that really, really drives a message home and paints a very vivid picture. And yes, on the postcard, I do include a PS. If you think this class would benefit any of your colleagues, please feel free to share the class information or have them call me. Again, this is going out as soon as possible after they register for your class. And so you'll have plenty of time if they do share it with their colleagues and get more people to your class. Okay? Now, the phone call. The phone call itself, you want to make this about 24 to 48 hours before the class. The phone call, you absolutely must have a this or that option. It is your reason for calling. You are not calling to confirm that they are going to be at tomorrow's class. That is not a confirmation call. Do not say, I'm calling to confirm you will be coming. Calling to confirm they will attend gives them an opportunity to back out, and you created it. You're the one that implanted the thought into their mind. Why? I can't fathom, and I've seen it happen so many times with people that do presentations, and in my opinion, this is the #1 mistake that is made in presenting and in this strategy, is that they don't have a good RSVP follow-up plan or a not very well thought out RSVP follow-up plan. And as a matter of fact, I know some loan officers that have an assistant that does their confirmation calling for them, and that confirmation call is, hi, this is so-and-so with so-and-so's office. I'm calling to confirm that you'll be attending our event tomorrow at blah, 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 blah. Oh, I meant to call you today. Something came up. I am not going to be able to make it to your event. Now, they weren't going to call you and cancel on you. They weren't going to pick up the phone and call and cancel on you. They probably wouldn't have canceled on you if you'd have called them and said, would you like chicken or fish? But because you implanted the thought in their mind, it gives them that out. You've done nothing with that call by saying that to reiterate or reinforce their good intentions. You've simply called to ask them if they're going to still show up. Well, you've embedded a thought into their mind that gives them an out. If they want to back out, let it be their idea, not yours. Asking if they're still coming implants that idea and lets them know that it's okay if they don't come. It gives them that idea that, oh, I've got an option here. No, I'm not going to be able to make it. Don't implant that thought in their mind. The phone call would sound something like this: ring, ring. Hey, Freddie, this is Paul Baxter with Legacy Financial. I'm getting all set for tomorrow's class and wanted to touch base with you to find out, do you want the chicken or fish for lunch? Pause for appropriate response. Great, I have you down for the chicken. Now I'm going to reinforce those good intentions. I'm looking forward to seeing you and helping you work on your business instead of in it. Bye. That's it. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you and helping you work on your business instead of in it. Bye. Now that same script can work for any of the different types of presentations you're doing. You're doing a coffee conversation in the morning. Hey, Fred, this is Paul Baxter with Legacy Financial. I'm getting all set for tomorrow's coffee and conversation. Wanted to touch base with you and find out, do you prefer regular or decaf? Great, I have you down for decaf. I'm looking forward to seeing you and helping you work on your business instead of in it. See you tomorrow. Bye now. Hey, Freddie, this is Paul Baxter with Legacy Financial. I'm getting all set for tomorrow's wine and win, and wanted to touch base with you and find out, do you prefer red or white wine? Great, I got you down for white. Hey, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you and helping you work on your business instead of in it. Hey, Freddie, this is Paul Baxter with Legacy Financial. I'm getting all set for tomorrow's, what's that going to be? For tomorrow's Book of the Month Club, and I wanted to find out, do you prefer regular or diet soda? Getting ready for tomorrow's Breakfast of Champions, and I was calling to find out, do you prefer donuts or bagels? Whatever they say. Great, I have you down for donuts. I'm looking forward to seeing you and helping you work on your business instead of in it. It's very simple. It's a very easy script, but the main thing I want you guys to see here, I didn't say I'm calling to confirm that you're coming. I gave them an if this, I gave them a this or that scenario. I didn't ask them, are they still coming? I simply am finding out, do they prefer one thing over another? It is a fantastic way to make your confirmation calls. It is a fantastic way to do it. It's also a great way to brand you as a little bit different because they're used to confirmation calls. Oh, are you coming to tomorrow's event? Oh, yeah, something came up. I'm not going to be able to make it. So this just gives you a way to touch base with them. You know they're confirming because they're telling you they want white. Boom, you're coming, got you confirmed. But you're not implanting the seed. You're just asking the simple question, would you like this or would you like that? That's going to give you your answer as to whether or not they're going to attend. Okay? So a bonus ninja tactic that I want to tell you guys about is one that it's a ton of fun. It's pretty easy to do. Send a text message the morning of the presentation. Now, if it's a breakfast or a coffee event, you want to do that the evening before. And there's a couple of ways that you can do text. If you guys have a large number, if it's like one of these CE presentations and you've got 40, 50 people in the room, you want to do this using a service like CallFire. CallFire, what it does is allows you to upload a list of phone numbers, and then you can do a bulk message through CallFire. What it does is it sends a text message directly from your cell phone number, and it's an individual message as opposed to sending one of those multimedia messages where you've got 20 people on a list. You send one text message. Now everybody's connected on the same doggone thread. I can't tell you. People are frustrated with that, and they'll delete your butt quicker than you can think of by doing that stuff. The CallFire allows you to send that one text message one time to the entire list, and it appears as if you sent one message to one number, one message to one number, one message to one number. That's a really cool feature to do, and that's great if you're doing the larger presentations. Now, if you're doing a regular non-CE presentation, remember our recommendation is 10 to 15 people in the room. You can get away with using Google Voice for this. The Google Voice, first and foremost, you have to understand is that when you send it to 5 at a, and you can send it to up to 5 at a time, it is still sent as an individual, one number, my number to your number, that's it. And with Google Voice, I can actually have it show up that the caller ID is coming from my actual cell phone number, even though it's coming from Google Voice. And so that's a really easy way to do it. You don't have to buy any services using Google Voice for it. And it's a pretty simple thing to send a message via Google Voice. Yes, with text messaging, the number that you're sending to has to be a cell phone number. It will not convert a text message to like an email or something like that, or a voice message if you send it to a number that is a non-cell phone number. And so, yeah, the number you're sending that has to be a cell phone number. And I will tell you, in this day and age, that with you know, who is, I know me, most business people are using their cell phones for their business. It may not be their exact number, but they're getting their stuff on their cell phone, even if they've got a number that is an office number and not their personal cell phone number. It's ringing, or texts or messages are being sent to that number. Most of your targets, most of your prospects, most of the people who register are going to be giving you their cell phone number as part of that registration. Does callfire.com or another service send bulk voicemail messages? Absolutely. The service I recommend for a bulk voice message is a service called Sly Dial. And James, I'm going to have you write this down because I don't have it up here on this screen. It's not it's not part of what you can't send a text with Sly Dial, but you want to write this down: SLYDIAL.com, SlyDial.com. And what you do is exactly what you're saying. You upload your list of phone numbers. What it will do is it's going to go directly to the voice message, the digital voice message. It's going to leave it. It's not going to ring the phone number in any way, shape, or form. It's just going to leave a voice message on that number electronically. It never rings the phone. Now, that being said, I would be surprised if anybody had somebody that has one of those old school voice, recorder machines. You remember the ones that have the little tape in it? It's like a tape that's about 2 inches by 1 inch. Nobody's got that anymore. And if you bump into one of them, they're probably over the age of 70. And quite frankly, they're probably not going to come and understand your class on how to use Facebook to farm to a neighborhood anyway. So, let those ones go. So Sly Dial is the service that you're referring to there, James, and it is a good service for that. I will tell you that, Sly Dial is the service for that. For sending bulk text messages, though, you want to be using Callfire, callfire.com. And it's pretty inexpensive. I think it boils down to depending on how many you're sending, you can get it as low as 0.75 cent per piece, as much as 5 cents per message. So it's really inexpensive, as well as a good service. Your text message looks exactly like this, or something like this. Hey there, just wanted to make sure you have the address for today's class on using Facebook to farm your neighborhood. It's 1122 Tampa Road, Palm Harbor, 34684. The restaurant is Positano's. I'm looking forward to helping you work on your business instead of in it. That's it. Short, sweet, to the point. I'm not confirming that you're coming in any way, shape, or form. I just wanted to make sure you've got the address to the class that's about Facebook to farm your neighborhood. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm going to today. Here's your address. And then, again, I am reinforcing their good intentions. I'm looking forward to helping you work on your business instead of in it. Okay? That's a simple text message. And, again, that text message, it's preferable if you can send it out same day as your presentation. But again, if you're doing one of those breakfast or in the morning presentations, it's okay to send that the evening before. Nothing wrong with that. It shows you've got a level of professionalism. By incorporating or deploying all these things, the 3 steps, and then adding to it the little ninja bonus of sending that text, what you're doing is you're differentiating yourself, but you're showing the agent that this is not some willy-nilly thing that you just pulled out of your hat. This is not just something that you pulled out of your hat and you're giving it a try. This is a well thought out, this is a planned, purposeful event that you're implementing, and that it's well thought out, that it's professionally done, that you've got all of your ducks in a row and you're doing it the right way. They're seeing that because they've gotten a greeting card from you in the mail. They've gotten 3 emails reminding you about it and confirming and just letting us know. I've made a phone call and found out that you're having chicken. Now I'm sending you a text message. It's all those things. They add up to one big thing. It's you know, as our good friend Alan likes to say, buying more brain cells. What we're doing is we're showing a level of professionalism that they're not accustomed to, and that's differentiating ourselves. Each one of those items is going to give us a better opportunity. Can you elaborate on the subject of not working in your business but working on your business as that relates to us loan officers? Yeah, when we're talking about when you're working in your business, that means you're sitting down and you're chasing conditions and you're staging for an agent. They're sending an email about staging a listing that they've already got, or they're creating a single property website for a listing they already have, or they're creating lots of different things that are the minutia of our business. For us loan officers, it's things like making sure our deals are all, all of our documents are in order before we send it to processing, or putting out that fire, or calling up because the appraisal came in a little lower than what it should have and we're having trouble getting financed for the right amount. The minutia things, that's working in your business. When you're working on your business are things that you do that are meant to help you create more business. You're working on getting more listings. You're working on getting more sellers. And that's things like educating yourselves on strategies on how to use social media. That's things educating yourselves on things like how to use video in your real estate business. That's working on your business. When you're doing things that are designed to help you generate more business, that's working on your business. When you're doing things that are just ensuring the business that you've already got in goes smoothly, that's working in your business. And so that's what that difference is. All right, so you're going to deploy this plan to make sure you keep your agent's interest level really, really high. Remind them of their good intentions. You have to remind them of their good intentions because, as we stated earlier, a lot of agents have those good intentions, but they are very short-lived if they're not reminded of the way you made them feel. Okay? Differentiate yourself with a high level of communication. These steps will help you more easily develop the relationship and then therefore helping you more easily get loans. Make sense? Now that's all I've got as far as a RSVP follow-up plan. And before I dive into some of our extras for today, anybody have any questions on the actual follow-up plan, on how it works, on any of the steps of the RSVP follow-up plan? Are there any questions about that specifically before I move forward? Because we're going to get a little off subject once we pass this page. Again, I mentioned at the beginning we had a little bit of a shorter presentation today, very specific information, but a little bit shorter. Doesn't take too long to present this stuff. You are going to have today's PowerPoint. It will be uploaded with the class, so all these scripts and the email scripts and the phone call script and the text message script, those are all included with it, so you'll be able to have access to those, make them, again, I always recommend that you take my redneck speak and turn it into your own language. You want to speak the way that people are used to hearing you speak. You don't want to use my language on them. So definitely take these scripts and tweak them a little bit to be yours, but these are all here and available for you. And it looks like, it looks like we've kind of, all the bases are covered on that. You guys have a good idea and a good understanding of what your RSVP follow-up plan looks like. Again, just like our regular follow-up plan, it's a 3-step plan. It's an email, it's a greeting card, it's a phone call, We added that bonus in there of the text message to really, really show that high level of communication, differentiate yourself, and show a level of professionalism that they're not used to. Those are all awesome things. Remember, the email is a three-step deal. It's a confirmation, a reminder, and then another confirmation. The greeting card, you have to get in their mailbox. That's a big, big piece of the puzzle to differentiating yourself. That phone call, do not give them an out by asking them, or I'm calling to confirm that you're coming to the thing. No, you give them a this or a that, a choice of this or that. That way you've got your idea that they're coming, but you're following up in a way that they're not used to. And then the text message to really drive that point home are all things that you want to do. And these steps are going to make it easier when you're in your presentation to develop that relationship. Now, once you've got the relationship, all you need to do now is ask for the business. And that's it. And it looks like James got a question. Has anyone on the call actually booked a presentation with a partner like a title company, etc.? Most of the title companies I know do not have a large room to hold a seminar. What then? That's when you get that local restaurant. So James, the what then is to get that local restaurant that you've gone in, you've talked to the manager, you've talked to the server who's going to be taking care of you, you've worked out a special deal. Going back to the class from last week when we talked about the extras and the different actually it was the first one on presentation types, we talked about what lunch and learns were like. And I made special mention that my experience in the restaurant business, you can negotiate a really good deal and usually get a lunch meal for anywhere between $7 to $10 a head, including gratuity. I always make sure, and here's a special note, over tip on the gratuity. It doesn't have to be ridiculous, but over tip on the gratuity because you want them to want you back. You want them to have a good experience with you and want you back, so do that. But we talked about that. So that scenario that you painted for me in your area, James, with the title reps or companies that don't have a facility or a room to do it in, you need to do that do a lunch and learn at a local restaurant, and then your co-partner or your title rep is going to offset the cost with you. Remember, we're looking for no more than 10 to 15 people in the room. So maximum, you're talking $150 at $10 a head for food. So now you're at $75 if you split the cost plus your tip. And on that, I would probably recommend gratuities included with that. That probably means they're getting about $30 on the deal or about $20 on the deal because the house is going to limit them to 15%. So I would give them an additional probably 15% on top of the 150, which would be another $20, okay, or $27.50 would be the exact number, but who's counting? So another $20, $25 I'd give them on top of that, and of course we're splitting that as well. So we're talking about $92 a piece between myself and the title rep. And so that's what my recommendation there would be, James, is to find that local restaurant that you can work out that deal with a decent lunch that gives you two options for people, a chicken and a beef or a chicken and a fish. Make sure that make sure that they've got a vegetarian option in case you run into that these days. Lately, guys, I know it's getting more and more difficult. You get the gluten-freers, you get the vegetarian, you get the full vegan, and everything in between. So there are, that's why I include in that one email, that reminder email, or the final confirmation email. If you have any dietary restrictions, please let me know so we can make sure that we can accommodate your needs. Very important on that aspect. And the question really arises, and nobody kind of responded to it. I don't know if I glossed over that part too quickly in your question. Is there anyone on the call that's booked a presentation with a partner, with a co-sponsor? Is there anybody that's done these kind of presentations where you did have a title rep partner with you? I know there's a couple people that are not on today's call that were on yesterday's call, and I know one of those people has done it. And Ed Nauerall is on here, James, and he says he's done it with a title company and a contractor. So Ed, let me ask you real quick: when you do it with do you typically do it at their location? Have you run into a situation like James is running into, where the title rep, the people he's approaching, don't have a facility to share? Have you run into that before as well? And Jim also says in the past a number of times. And James, Ed's answer to that question was yes, and he does the restaurant. He does restaurants. And so kind of goes back to my answer to you is, if you don't have that situation, get that restaurant set up. Again, you can minimize that cost, and the reality is, if you can be in front of 10 brand new real estate agents and it costs you $100, if it costs you $150, worth every penny of that to be able to get that opportunity in front of them, to brand yourself as an expert, to differentiate yourself, and to show a level of professionalism that they're not used to. Yeah, and that's exactly. So Ed's saying the same thing. He says do the restaurant with good parking and reasonable prices, lunch or breakfast, $10 a head with tip. So like I said, you can negotiate, most of the time when you're preparing or getting with a restaurant, you're going to negotiate that deal ahead of time, and with the price that they quote you on a party like this, they are always going to include gratuity in the per person charge. And I'm glad you're bringing that up, James, because that's what we're about to cover in about 2 seconds here. So hang tight on that question, my friend. And Jeff says, I have done it with a title company. She was only able to bring in 2 realtors that turned out to be low to no producers, cost me $50 for their training room, and they supplied the water. Okay. Well, and that's, to me, Jeff, that's not a true partner. They should have paid you to bring your content in there. And so in the future, we're going to find a different title rep that's interested in actually partnering with you, not trying to make money on the rental of the room. Okay. And Ed hit the nail on the board here. He said the value to the restaurant is that they get to have new people patronize their restaurant, or an opportunity to show their restaurant off to new people. And that's why I say, when you're talking to your restaurateur, they love to have these kind of things at the restaurants, because for them, they're not only making money on your deal, but it's an opportunity for them to get new people to experience their restaurant. Absolutely couldn't agree. And I will tell you, that was my mindset when I was doing banquet managing for a restaurant. That's my mindset is, yeah, bring your group in here, because I'm going to get my $100 out of you, but I'm also going to get 20 people that have never eaten here before to get an opportunity to impress them with my food. And Ed says use a different title company every month, and that's a great idea. I know a lot of people who do this, and in my mindset, that's not something I've ever thought about, is keeping with the same title company, but by doing a different title company every month, you kind of spread the wealth a little bit, but you also get the opportunity to tap into multiple databases. Instead of just this one agent's database, you're now tapping into all these multiple title agents' databases. That's a great idea. And thank you for that, Ed. A great idea. Good stuff there, my friend. Jim is saying parking is really important. Food, while nice, can be a huge distraction. Okay. And that's one of the things you've got to be careful of, is you've got to make sure that your timing, and that's not something I've got on today's stuff, and we didn't talk about this, but ensure that when you go into that restaurant that you discuss the timing of when you want that food brought to the table with your server. I have done hundreds of these seminars at restaurants that I managed, and I will tell you, the person who got the most amount of impact out of it was a local dentist. The local dentist, he did these seminars. He did them once a month, and it was a no-joke seminar. I mean, it was a big deal for him, but he always got the most amount of people coming up to him at the end. I watched him, and he was closing deals left and right. I can't remember what his seminars were on, but he was like, I mean, like closing deals left and right at his seminars, because what he did that was a little bit different is he got with us. I mean, he came to me and we got my banquet manager together, and he sat down. He said, exactly, here's how I want you to serve the meal. This, when you see this slide come up, I want you to bring that course. Not until then. Do not bring a single thing to the table until you see this. He set that timing up so that that food wasn't a distraction for him. Great point, and thank you for bringing that up, Jim, because that can be a big deal that can really, really mess up a good presentation if the timing is not right. And if they've got their faces down eating their wonderful chicken sandwich, and you're up there in the beginning parts of your presentation, they're not paying attention for you. So yeah, timing is a huge essential part of it. Hey Jeff, my guess is, so Jeff says they actually gave the title company presentation to a different title rep company. She got all jazzed up, then never called me back. Returned my call or email, strike two. So my guess is, and here's my question for you on that, Jeff. When you approached that second title company, did you have a specific day, a specific time, and a specific subject that you were going to be presenting on? That is what will eliminate those no callbacks, or they'll be jazzed and then never call back. You're looking for a commitment right then and there, and if they don't commit right then and there, you keep going until they either tell you yes or no. You can't have that whole, well, yeah, that sounds like a great thing. Give me a call next week and we'll set it up. No, ma'am, I'm looking to set this up right now because I need to start inviting agents to fill seats. If you're interested, that's awesome. Let's do it. Let's set it in stone. Here's the dates. I'm going to send out the first invitations today. If you're not interested, that's cool. I completely understand if this kind of promotion is not for you, Miss Title Rep, but I need to know your answer today. You have to talk to your manager. Fantastic. Is she in the other room? Let's go talk to her right now, because I'm sending out the invitations for January 6th today. If you're interested, let's do it. If you're not, I completely understand. I know that Mary over at North American Title is very interested. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to get in on this kind of promotion as well. If you can't do it, I completely understand. You need to talk to your manager. Fantastic. Go ahead and call her and let's get it done. I'll wait. I'm not going anywhere. Make her make that call. Get that commitment, but don't let it be a, well, I got to talk to my manager and I'll call you next week to let you know. No, ma'am. By next week, I'm going to already have half the seats filled because, like I said, I'm promoting this event today. I need your commitment today. And if you're not going to do it, like I said, no harm, no foul. I don't feel bad about it, and you shouldn't feel bad about it either. There's no harm in if you aren't able to work with me or do this kind of promotion. I'm just here today to see if it's something you want to do, and if you do, let's go ahead and put it in stone. Make them make that commitment right then and there. That would alleviate that, Jeff, and that's some food for thought next time. And Ed says title company speaks first, contractor second, and lender last. Okay, and that's a good way to do it when you partner like that, is give that title company that first because they're typically not going to have a presentation like you are, and they're going to do just like a little short 5-minute commercial for themselves. Let them go. Let them go ahead and do that. And you know what? Sometimes it may be beneficial to get that food going while they're doing it, so that by the time you're doing your presentation, they may be done with their meal already, and now they're paying attention to you. Have those servers, and by the way, that's another thing is timing. If people are finished, you want the servers in there clearing those plates as quick as possible. You want to make sure that they've got their opportunity to take notes. Okay? And we're running out of time here, so I want to dive into this. Some of the extras. My good friend Jim Rice yesterday asked me about, he said, you know what, Paul, I'm looking to do this. This is a really great strategy, and I want to kind of get going on this, but I don't want to do it the wrong way. I want to do it the right way. what kind of materials do I need, projectors, things like that. And I do recommend that you have some sort of projection ability, the ability to project it as opposed to just doing it on your laptop screen, especially at a lunch and learn. They're never going to see it. You don't want them to only follow you on through the PowerPoint. And you know what, James? Ed had said that. He said either lunch or breakfast. Either one is good. Early in the morning is fine. Ed even he said that. Lunch or breakfast. Either is good. Absolutely. And so you want to have the materials. Now, you can rent the materials if you don't want to go out and buy it. And I just did a Google search to kind of give you guys an idea of how much it costs. You can do this little 40-inch diagonal tabletop screen at this one rental place in my local area. Costs 25 bucks a day, or for an 80-incher it's 35 bucks a day. But I can buy a 77-inch, which is the same as this 80-incher, for 120 bucks. Now I own it and I've got it permanently. So you can do either or. A projector to rent is 70 bucks a day. You can buy the nicer ones. Some of the nicer ones, man, I saw some in there for $2,300 for some of these projectors. Don't go out there and break the bank to buy a dang-gum projector. All you really need to do is get your image on the screen. It doesn't make. So I found this one on Best Buy for $239. That's in the clearance. But then I did a search on Amazon, and I was able to find a brand new one for 160 bucks on Amazon. Comes with a remote control, comes with all of the connecting cords that you need. It's got audio, video. This is the one that you're going to be using because this is a USB. This is a USB port that you would just plug into the projector, plug the other end into your computer, and you're good to go. So between the two of them, you could have a little under $300 invested, and you now own your own equipment. But you do have the ability to rent it if you want to get started on this and you don't want to wait the amount of time to get the equipment or to buy it. Get some results first, go ahead and rent it. If you're doing it once a month, we're talking about, what's that, between the two, $110 for the day. So now if we're doing lunch and things, we got about $210 invested in this to get an opportunity to spend an hour presenting myself as an expert in front of agents, branding myself as different, and getting an opportunity to show a level of professionalism that those agents just aren't used to. And so, Ed, Jim, excuse me, I wanted to make sure that you saw this. Yes, I do recommend that you have some sort of way to project. Now, that being said, a lot of you, when you approach your title reps, they're going to have these types of materials already, and it is okay to borrow them. No big deal. A lot of times when you go into some of your bigger real estate offices and you're doing a presentation for the broker at a big real estate office, they're going to have some of these materials also. Find out and borrow them. But your goal is to eventually own your own so that when you do these strategy, you come prepared, you've got everything you need. Okay? Make your fun tchotchkes branded to you. So I did a simple Google search. You can get, remember we talked about in the extras, have some tchotchkes to get your people engaged. And okay, who can tell me, how big or what the exact dimensions of your Facebook cover image when you go to create your farm page for your neighborhood is? Oh, 851 by 350, perfect, and you throw them a tchotchke. Have it do something fun like these little stress balls, or I saw some notepads that were pretty cool looking that people could use, or any of those things. And reality is you can buy these things. If I buy 175, I pay $1.82 a piece. If I buy 1,000 of them, I pay 91 cents a piece. This is something you're going to be doing, and if this is a strategy you're going to incorporate, you want to buy a bulk amount of these things because that's what you're going to become known for, giving out these things. And what will end up happening is as you start to do this more and more, people will talk. These people, hey, they'll walk into the door at the beginning of a presentation. Man, I'm going to pay attention today. I really want one of your squishy stars. Man, my goal today is to get one of your squishy stars, because they've seen it the last one or they've heard about it. It's a fun thing. It gets smiles. That's the big deal, is to generate those smiles, because remember, you're looking to create a feeling with the attendees so that when you follow up, you deploy your attendee follow-up plan and you get face-to-face, you've already got a feeling that you can work on to develop that relationship and therefore ask for business, therefore get more loans, right? in your presentation or in your meeting, create an atmosphere you want. Fun is a feeling we as humans remember. So create a fun atmosphere. Have fun with your presentations. Here's one. The guy's shooting a little Nerf gun at the other guy. That's fun. You cannot tell me that that's not fun. Have fun with your presentations and do different things that will allow you to stand out against the crowd and have fun and and create that feeling of fun with your attendees. You create a feeling, those people will remember it. That's what it's all about, is creating those feelings. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to do another Done For You presentation, but I have a question for everybody that is on the call with me right now here today. What kind of a Done For You presentations do you think your real estate agents will get the most amount of impact out of? In essence, what kind of a Done For You presentation would you guys like? What would you like a Done For You presentation on? Something which helps them get more listings, okay? So like a FSBO strategy or an expired listing strategy? Something to that effect? Or perhaps a Facebook ads strategy that targets potential home sellers? Okay, perfect. I like that. Anybody else? That's one suggestion. Anybody else? Looks like with that one suggestion, I think everybody's kind of on the same page with that, Peggy. Okay, cool. Bear with me one second here. Popping open my little notepad that does not go any further than right beside me on my desk on an everyday basis. How to be perceived as a real estate expert. So kind of like what we're teaching you guys on how to be perceived as the loan expert, or to be perceived as you know, branding yourself as an expert in something. Real estate agents doing the same way. Jim, I think that kind of relates, and the way that it's best is to kind of focus on niches and yeah, focus on niches. So I'm writing that down too. So guys, join me tomorrow. We're going to have RE agent expert branding. All right, guys, girls, got some material. We will have a fantastic Done For You presentation that, again, you could literally take the presentation, take out my little red X's, put your name in there, put your contact information in there, take out the picture of me, put a picture of you in there, and that becomes your presentation. Yeah, I mean, we're right. Even this is, I love December for this kind of thing. So James says, being that we are right before Christmas, calling now to set for January presentation or for December, for January presentation. Here's the thing that all your agents are telling you right now. Oh, I'm busy getting ready for my 2015. Oh, man, this year's pretty much done. I'm just preparing for 2015 now. So get them into a presentation that first week of January. Hit the ground running for your own 2015, and that gives you enough time to prepare and plan for your presentation the right way to make sure you get the impact that you need. So what started out to be a class that I thought we were going to be done a little early today, I'm glad that you guys had the great questions, because that it lets me know you were engaged. It lets me know that you guys are serious about this presentation strategy, and I can't tell you, I cannot say it enough, this strategy is the strategy that I believe will give you the most amount of impact in your mortgage business and give you the most amount of opportunities to get face-to-face. And if you can get face-to-face, you can develop a relationship If you can develop a relationship, you can ask for the business, and if they're the right targets, you will get business. Guys, girls, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you's engagement and you know, the help and answering questions and sharing your knowledge with what you've done. Awesome stuff today. Great masterminding, guys. I look forward to seeing you right here, same time, same channel tomorrow on the Top Producers class tomorrow. So we will see you then, and have a great rest of your day. See you, everybody.